So we'll go back to the PowerPoint. Cardiac tissue needs oxygen, has these intercalated discs, which are gap junctions, which allow the communication between the muscle fibers. So cardiac muscle needs oxygen, is connected by electrical synapses, and is self-exciting. There's no tetanic contraction or you die. So you go into tetany in a muscle, your heart, it stops beating. And you'll have to be shocked to restore the heart to a rhythmic, step-by-step beating. Smooth muscles are non-striated. They're under hormonal control throughout your gut and blood vessels. Those are smooth muscle. So cardiac muscle, again, is made up of filaments. They're much shorter and they're branched more than skeletal muscle. The intercalated disc or gap junctions are electrical synapses where there can be very rapid changing of material from one fiber to the other. And that's mostly the reason why cardiac muscle can contract as a unit so that the heart can contract and pump, contract and pump. Smooth muscle is very individual cells. All digestion, regulation of blood vessels is controlled by smooth muscle, which responds to hormones and has naturally occurring contractile motion. That's how you move your food, digest your food, mix your food, and also how blood vessels are controlled by smooth muscles surrounding the opening of the blood vessel. Okay, take a look at this. Basically the differences between skeletal, cardiac, and smooth muscle. Okay, so you should know all of these muscles. And we'll have certain muscles highlighted in WebAssign. And here's a listing of those that may be asked. I'm going to concentrate on the thigh and maybe the chest a little bit. And it'll be strong emphasis on the thigh. We can look at a posterior view. Again, these thigh muscles will be emphasized. Okay. A muscle has an origin. It inserts on a muscle attachment. So origins are basically fixed. So muscles have tendons which start the origin. The tendon attaches to muscles, and with contraction, a fixed fulcrum site will be the origin, and the insertion will be the part of the muscle that moves. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. Not going to worry about that. Okay. You should, in general, know the muscles of the head and neck. Those will be, some of those will be emphasized. So just basically use this as a reference to do WebAssigns. I'm not going to worry about those. You may have to know some of these, the frontalis and so on, the orbicularis oculi, muscle around the eye, and so on. Okay, we may have questions about, I don't think we have questions about any of these. Okay, don't worry about that one. We don't worry about these. We may have questions on the abdominal muscles. So use this part of the diagram. We won't have questions about these muscles or these. We're not going to worry about the pelvic floor. Okay. we may have a question about some of the skeletal muscles, the shoulder muscles. Okay. We're not going to emphasize, we may have questions about the pectoralis and so on. So I'm picking out certain muscles for you to know. That'll be determined by WebAssign. Okay. We're not going to worry about these muscles, maybe only the biceps and the triceps. So just in general, know the biceps and the triceps. We're not going to worry about the forearm. We will worry about the lower limbs. So, as I said, we're going to really concentrate on the muscles of the thigh. And that's coming up, right? So we'll really focus on these muscles right here. Okay? All these muscles. This is very important. This is a very important slide because we'll have a lot of questions on these muscles. Okay, so pay attention strongly to this diagram and any other place you can use to be able to know what the sartorius is, the rectus femoris, and so on, the semitendinosus. There'll be a lot of questions on the thigh muscles. Okay, we're not worried about this one. We won't have any questions here. Okay, so that's basically it. So we're going to go ahead and go back to recording and stop this. Then we'll talk.